Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make this really cool dessert called a chocolate pudding cake, which is a chocolate cake and a chocolate pudding all in one. It's delicious. So let's get started. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 180 degrees Celsius, and then either butter or lightly spray an 8-inch, that's 20 centimeter square baking pan. Now this pudding cake has three parts. It has the chocolate cake, which we are going to make by hand, and then we're going to that pour, sprinkle over the top a sugar mixture, and then hot coffee is going to be poured over the whole thing. So for the hot coffee, you will need 1.5 cups, that's 360 milliliters, and you can either use like freshly brewed coffee that if you have it in the house, or you could just stir in about 2 teaspoons of instant coffee powder into hot water. And then for the sugar mixture, we're going to mix together 1/3 cup, that's 65 grams of white sugar, and 1/3 cup, that's about 70 grams of brown sugar. And then I'm just going to sift over the top 1/3 cup, that's about 30 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. And you can use either the Dutch processed or just a regular unsweetened, whichever one you like. I just like to sift it to get rid of any lumps that the cocoa powder can have. Okay, just gonna... This sugar mixture, when it's put over the top of the cake batter, will form a really nice crust as it bakes. It's quite good. Lumps in the brown sugar. Okay, so for the cake batter, we just 2 bowls. We need one for the dry ingredients, and what we have here is 3/4 cup, it's 95 grams of white all-purpose flour, and then I'm just going to sift over the top 1/4 cup, it's about 25 grams of Dutch processed cocoa powder. Just sift it because there is some lumps. And then I'm going to add to that 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to whisk that together. And then in this bowl I got 1 large egg, so I'm just going to whisk that. And to that I'm going to add 1/3 cup, that's 65 grams of white sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Try to use the pure vanilla extract. It's a lot better flavor than the artificial ones. And then 1/3 cup, 80 milliliters of milk. I just use 2%. You could use whole milk if you like, whatever you have in the house. And then 4 tablespoons, that's 57 grams of butter that has been melted and cooled to room temperature. So, whisk all that together. And then I'm just going to add the wet to the dry and stir that together. Simple enough. There's a lot of ingredients in this recipe, so try to have everything out before you start, because you don't want to forget anything. That way it's pretty easy to put together once you start. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup, about 50 grams of chopped nuts. You could use walnuts or pecans, or if you don't like nuts, you could just leave it out and maybe even put in, if you want to make more chocolate, you put some dark or white chocolate chips. Okay, so we got the 3 parts done. And I got my cake pan. I'm just going to first put in the chocolate cake batter. Just gonna spread that out. I've just used an offset spatula, or you just use the back of a spoon, that's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to take the sugar mixture, and then I'm just going to sprinkle it evenly on the top. As you can see, this is quite a different type of chocolate cake. We serve this warm, so it's a great cold weather dessert and snowy day. Finishes off a meal very nicely. Okay, so. And then I'm going to pour the hot coffee as evenly as possible over the top. I know this looks like a bit of a mess, but what's really neat as this bakes, it separates into two layers. The top layer is a cake, chocolate cake, nice moist chocolate cake, and underneath is a thick chocolate pudding. So I'm going to put this in the oven for about 25 minutes, or until you'll see that the cake is on top, and that'll be firm, and it just starts to pull away from the sides of the pan. So into the oven we go. Okay, our chocolate pudding cake is now done. As you can see, it is just starting to pull away from the sides of the pan, and it's quite firm, and it's all cracked. And so the cake's on the top, and then the pudding is underneath. So I'm just going to let this cool a couple minutes, and then we'll cut a slice. So with a sharp knife, I'm just going to cut a piece here. Now you can serve this on a plate or in a bowl. And I'm just gonna, well, it's still hot. You like to serve this warm. So, as you can see, it's a nice sauce. And then just pour the extra sauce over the top. And this is really nice with either vanilla or maybe a coffee flavored ice cream. And leftovers can be covered and stored and then just reheated in the microwave. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com.